Good morning and welcome to Tony Commander J.R. Glapohkpa Chesson talk show. On this beautiful Wednesday morning, August the 23rd, 2023. What's up in our country, Liberia? We know that 4 inmates have died in Bond County. How can 4 inmates die in Africa? Because of overcrowdedness of our prison. What's going on in our country, man? Is our system so bad that our prison is overcrowded? The prison in Monrovia, now we hear the prison in Banga is overcrowded. 4 inmates died because of overcrowdedness. So how did they die? Did the other inmates kill them? Were they starved to death? Why they die? So I'm praying that my correspondent can come on so we can get more information, because this was not in the news this morning, but it was on the radio, on the news in Liberia. So I get my news from Liberia and from the front page African newspaper. But how can our prison be overcrowded? This is insanity. This is Africa. This is not the West. How can people in Africa, in a poor nation, die in prison because of overcrowdedness? That means this is another example of the lack of leadership in our country. Terrible. Terrible. When you hear of inmates dying in prison in Africa, that means there's a failure of the system. There's a failure of the governance and leadership system. I mean, these are poor people, poor suffering people in the nation. How can our prison be overcrowded? Bad leadership. So you just take people and just lock them up. And you see, my people, this is why I try to educate my people and tell you that this is not right. We try to copy everything from the Western world. It's not right. Because when you're a leader, yes, we need help. We need the education from the West. But we also got to know that as leaders, we have common sense. And common sense is just as good as education. Because there are some people who are highly educated and have no common sense. And when you see them doing something, you wonder. You say people with all this education and they can't think. Like some people, they're highly educated, they would take water and put it in sifter. You may think it's funny or it's not realistic. But people do those stupid things. Look at Liberia right now. Samuel Twer is telling the Liberian people that we supplying Ivory Coast with electricity. Is that asinine or is that stupid? That was Money Captain, the head of the Liberia Electricity Corporation, came out and said, anybody who believes the finance minister that Liberia is supplying Ivory Coast, they're stupid. You gotta be stupid. But we learned there's some kind of electricity sharing arrangement going on between, like, let me bring Samuel Walker on. He just came on. People have been trying to sabotage our show. Samuel,
I tell you, good morning.
this man in Liberia, right?
Yeah, man. Sometimes it can be so difficult to get through in the morning.
I know the people trying to sabotage us speaking, but it can't happen. Just keep
Good
trying.
morning. Yeah.
We'll get better. I was just talking about Samuel Twer and Money Captain talking about
Okay.
he supplying electricity to Liberia and Captain branding him a liar. Tell us about that.
Yeah, quite recently on his campaign trail, CDC number 2, the finance minister, current finance minister of Liberia, said that electricity in Liberia is getting surplus because of the rainy season. And so he told his supporters that in fact we are supplying Africa with electricity. They say we are not working, but we doing more than any other government in this country. Since 1847, for the very first time, Liberia is supplying Africa with electricity. And man, he got it was backlash all around. People
He
lie
got a
until
whipping, huh?
yesterday. See that?
He got a whipping on the radio station.
Oh man, he got a good whip from across the country. So it was yesterday evening that money captain came and said, "But tu as a liar. No stupid person would believe that we can supply Africa with electricity. But in fact, this West Africa power pool comes from Ghana, the water dam. It supply over 6, 7 countries. Then how can you supply? What you got? Your hardware is not even well equipped. How can you supply Africa? So all the kind of fake promises in the last new campaign time, they were voters can hold them accountable when they're elected. Why must you lie like that?
I mean, but it's a bull-faced, dirty lie. You know,
He sometimes said that like bro and it cut the and the Arab world signed 50 billion
but
and
some
the climate change agreement.
this is what makes this government a grown-out government.
Yeah.
You just come to the people and just tell us this kind of bull-faced, dirty lie. They have been doing it forever. They came with a kick with an airplane on top of it. That didn't materialize. I mean, you know, and this is what is sad about our indigenous leadership. You know, they complain about the Congo people this, the Congo people that, then we have the chance for our indigenous leadership to lead us in the right direction and to come there with all this bullshit. They come there, and you see, Ellen Johnson said he did this for them. So we can't talk. Because if Ellen Johnson said she says she's indigenous, right? I hear people say, oh, Ellen Johnson said he hate the Congo people. Yeah, if you hate the Congo people so much, why would you give the indigenous people the worst leadership? Why would you? Because anybody knows that no matter how famous you are as a football player or as an athlete, once you're not educated, you cannot lead a nation.
You cannot lead.
It doesn't matter how professional you are in the football field, whether you can jump over the pool or you can somersault over the pool, you can score 20 goals. It doesn't matter. If you don't have the education to lead a nation and the people, that's not football. That's not sports. You got to feed people. You got to educate people. You got to take people's lives into consideration. All these things come into a leadership of a country. Not because you can run around on the football with short trousers, showing all your knees and legs showing, your playing hand just shaking in the trousers and you think you big man. No. No. And my Liberian people, y'all got to grow up, man. Y'all got to grow up.
That's the mentality. People run behind noise.
Footballer being president.
Yeah,
Go
that's
ahead,
the
son, what you
mentality we
said.
got here. So that's the mentality we got in this country. To chase footballer, and we all know experience in leadership. Even at the level of Lone Star failed because of him. He divided Lone Star. So most of the players went against him. You
But
see
the
such a
man's an
person, and you
idiot.
say running after him. Yeah.
The man is a 12. He even finished with high school. So everything he does is based on his emotions. Sam, that's the same thing happened with Doe. That's why you don't put high school people and people with education in our positions. Because where they lack knowledge, they fill it up with emotion. Oh, he hate me. He don't like me. Maybe he against me. Maybe they won't bring me down. Oh, look at me. You start doing those kind of things. Because you lack the knowledge and the education to fill the gap that needs to be filled, to do the things that need to be done, to dream and envision things. Sam, leadership is not only about waking up in the morning and going to work. No, you got to have vision. You got to go to bed and dream. Be able to dream. And if you don't go to school, you don't have the knowledge and education, you cannot dream the dream that you need to resolve the issues facing our country and problems. You can't. Because in order to dream the dreams that you need to dream, to see what you need to do, you have to understand the deep, deep issues that you're facing. It got to be a burden on your mind that you understand you got to resolve this issue. And you praying to God every day. You're not only looking to your physical abilities, you praying to God because you want solutions. You want solutions. That's what differentiates us, the educated people, from the semi-educated and the uneducated. The dream. It separates us. Because when you're educated, you have studied the dreams of other people. That's what education is about. The Marxist system, the democratic system, the socialist system, all those systems are ideals that were dreamed about by other people. Maybe one of them dream it, and another dream another component, and like Marx and Engels. These are two people that wrote about socialism. Marx was the theorist. Engels may have been the writer. But these are the two people that put those ideas together. They sat down and discussed it. The same thing with democracy. You have Thomas Jefferson. He wrote the Bill of Rights. What we as individuals should think about for our own freedom. That's the Bill of Rights. Because the Constitution, I told you, the Constitution has two parts, basically. One part is dealing with the government. What the sovereign is entitled to, eminent domain, and all these kind of laws, axioms that back the supremacy of the government. So there was nothing in the Constitution to protect us, the human beings, from government. Everything was from government. Government is, government can take your property under eminent domain, and government take your property, they will give you just compensation. Government can do this, you can't do this, you can't do that. And these are all rules that the Constitution had. But there was nothing there for the individual. Everything was the law for the government. The government can take your land, the government can take your car, the government, you got to register for this, the government will make laws to regulate this, the government will do this. That's how the Constitution was. Until they added the Bill of Rights. When they added the Bill of Rights take care of us, the individuals. What are our freedoms? Yeah, the government can take our property, the government can jail us, the government can kill us, the government can make all kinds of laws to put us in jail. Yes, but what are our rights as individuals? And those are the rights that Thomas Jefferson propounded in the Bill of Rights. The individual rights, the rights that are guaranteed to us, the people. Our freedom of religion. The state don't have to control us.
So Thomas Jefferson,
go ahead.
So Thomas Jefferson introduced the Bill of Rights, but who introduced the Bill of Rights of animal rights? There's too much in America, in Europe, other places, animal rights.
Animal rights and no rights in the Constitution for animal rights. I mean, that's local law, that's statutes. People, the legislature write laws.
Okay.
Because the Constitution protects us. There's nothing in the Constitution for animals. Animals won't sign the Constitution. So, Bill of Rights for animals and protection for animals, all of these come under statutory law. That means the legislature got together and saw that people were beating dogs and mistreating animals. So they got together and said, no, we got to stop it. You know, we got to differentiate between animals. That's where the treatment for animals come in. We differentiate between fera naturae, am I pronouncing it correct, and pets. What is fera naturae? Wild animals. lion, cow, and elephant, and giraffe, and animal snakes.
Crocodile
Separate them from
or
pets.
alligator.
Alligator, you can't bring alligator in your house as a pet. So
Mm.
that's why we differentiate between different kind of animals. You don't do that between human beings. So when you differentiate between animals, what is considered wild animals, you cannot domesticate. You cannot bring in your home as a pet. It's on you. And the government can forbid you from doing that. Why? Because when those pets injured you, you depend on the government to assist you. In poor countries, we got to pay the bills for your hospital bill. That's what the law differentiates between wild animal and pets. There's a difference. We know that dogs, cats, some kind of snakes, some kind of animals can be domesticated. Okay? I don't even think you can domesticate snakes. Snake is a wild animal. But some people like them in their houses because of what? They like it. And when they get a certain length, most of the snakes people bring into their homes are pythons and boa constrictors, snakes that are not poisonous when they bite you, but they are poisonous because they can squeeze you to death.
Mm-hmm.
No matter how you trust the snake, it's fera natura. It's a wild animal. So if you bring snake in your house and you want to domesticate it, you cannot domesticate a snake. People try, then you see when you reach a certain length, they can't control it no more, they throw it outside. Sometimes you sitting in America, man. One time we're sitting down talking, and we just heard everybody got up, man, because we knew it was a snake. Then we saw the boa constrictor.
Hmm.
And those are snakes that people keep in their homes as pets. And those things can grow up to 7, 8 feet, 9 feet long. Then you can't keep it in your house no more. Then what they do? They throw it outside. Or they take it in the bush and throw it in the bush. People do a lot of stupid things. They bring wild animals. They lie, say that something else. Like I was working for a lawyer in Pittsburgh. And this man was bitten he liked wild animals. He raised so terrible dogs, man. Those dogs, one day he wanted to feed them and those dogs attacked him. Almost ripped his arm off. His whole left hand or right hand, I can't remember, were always in some kind of sling. How you gonna manage to keep wild animals? Then one day we come to work, his office door's locked. Why is locked? He got a wolf in there. He got a cub, a baby wolf. So when they're small, they're like dogs. So he comes to work the next day, he opened the door, or I walk in the room. I see the thing running around the place. He said, Jeff, that's a dog, that's a wolf. I'm trying to look for the law to register it as a dog. You see that kind of thing people do? You got a wolf, you got a baby cub in your office, running around the office, and he wants to get a license for it as a baby dog. Because the people will have to examine it, and they will know it's a wolf. So you take a wolf to pass it for dog. And the guy was really looking in the law book and everything to pass it in Pittsburgh, looking for a law to register the wolf as a baby dog. So I mean, I just shook my hands. I ain't even want to get into that. I ain't even getting into that, I didn't even talk here, buddy, because that was asinine. And that's the same reason why he got bitten. Some of those dogs in his house were probably half wolf. He was breeding wolves. He was a breeder, so he had dogs and things. He was a lawyer. Then when he go home, he breed dogs and things like that. And he was mixing them with wolves and things like that. And that's why he went in his house one day, went in the pen, all the things attacking him, almost killing him, ripped his arm off. I mean, they ripped that man's arm off, man. Now they fixed it up some kind of way, but he still couldn't use his hand good. Every time he take now and then his hand would just start trembling. He got to put
But
it.
he still got them. He still got them as his pets.
Yeah, the man. I tell you, the man was trying to identify the wolf as a dog.
That's what I'm saying. I say he still got a wild dog. The dogs that stay around him
You're not paying
after
attention to
after
me.
after biting him. I mean, after attacking him.
You're not hearing what I'm saying to you. I said the man had a wolf in his office, trying
Oh,
to
okay.
pass it off as a dog.
I
Doesn't
got
that
it. I got
answer
the
your
story.
question? You still got them around? Yes. You got worse things around. He need that thing when it can kill you. Those kind of dogs go for your neck, to your throat. They go for your
Mm-hmm.
jugular. You see them like tigers and things. They go for your throat and in the back of your head and things like that.
And let's come to elaborate a little bit.
Yeah.
On we had two in bombing yesterday. The citizen booed him because
The
he
bull,
he
the
was
bull
supposed
Satema is in my
Setuma, yeah,
nieces. Yeah,
yeah,
the
Setuma,
my man. He knows Satema. Satema
yeah,
used to be in
Morris,
Bonkande, Satoma. He was
Morris
all
Setuma,
coming
yeah.
there with us. He was
Mm-hmm,
in the
yeah.
agricultural school. That my boy.
So that
I
that
was
shows
looking
that
at
that shows
Satoma.
that that shows that
I
we
said,
are
oh,
is
yeah,
that shows that we are is defeated already in bombing.
yeah, but those guys
The
ripped the
entire
country
the
off,
entire
man.
western the
Satoma, then
entire
are corn
western
guys.
region, and
Satoma, then are corn guys, my man.
oh he a
Those
con he
guys ripped
always
the
on the
country
financial
off.
committee.
You gotta rip the
Like
country off. I told you
like
about
like Ellie
boys, but
boy,
all the boys,
like Ellie like Ellie.
I was watching some too much. I was just laughing. He African shit behind George Weah. I said,
Oh
look at the
yeah,
other Cuba.
yeah.
Look at the other Cuba. You knew him? He used to all be all, he was all gotten in there with us.
Yeah, I know him. I don't too close anyway. I know him from Banga, from
Yeah, so too
Morovia.
much to be running around bunkering there with that in school. That's my boy, man. So
And and
I
and
was
then
laughing.
and
I said,
then
oh,
yeah, and
the
then the
boy, the
special
Cuba.
session has been called by George Weah.
For what?
According to sources, the Senate the special session is meant to discuss the abortion matter, and it is alleged that the Swedish government bribed each lawmaker, each senator, $20,000 to pass the bill. That's why we are calling them back for the abortion matter, yeah, to legalize abortion. So that was the reason for the special session.
So did they legalize abortion?
No, they're still discussing it. I think the 2 weeks and also.
So the foreigners can intervene in our country and bribe our legislature now
That's what
to
they're
pass
saying.
laws that govern them. You see how bad our country gone?
That's what, yeah.
Our country has gone so bad now that people know that our legislators are criminals.
I compromise.
They have no loyalty to Liberia and Liberian people. They have loyalty to themselves. And this is where our country is going. And we wonder how we can build our country. How can we build our country? Everything is for money. Everybody's selling everything for money. Our country has no patriots. So the people leading us don't care about us. They care about themselves and money. When a foreign government knows that the country leaders are so corrupt that they can allocate $20,000 just to pass a law that they wouldn't pass in their own country. Is abortion legalized in their country?
In Sweden?
I think it's legalized. The people
Yeah,
are more, they
look
are
at that in
liberal.
Sweden, yeah.
They
Sweden,
are,
Norway, all the border, yeah, abortion legalized there.
yeah, they are liberal.
All the Scandinavian countries,
They're
they are
more liberal
legalized.
than they're more liberal with women rights and all those kind of things. You see,
Yeah.
Sam, I don't like to be a hypocrite. How much can we protect women's rights? You know, in a country like Liberia, sometimes it's necessary that we make laws to protect our women. But what would be those laws? Would they have to be with? Because the reason why they make abortion laws and things like that, because there's some women who are reckless. Like me, son, I was born out of wedlock. My mom could have killed me, aborted me. Plenty of her friends were telling her to do it, but she didn't do it. So when you, there are people I know have had 6, 7 abortions because it's legalized and they can do it. So having abortion to them is nothing.
But that's
They
killing.
have unprotected sex. They get pregnant, they just run there, take the baby out. I know some people that had 10 abortions. 10 abortions.
Yeah.
And some of them, the babies that they kill, hunt them. Hunt them. They hunt them because you may kill the baby in the physical world, but the baby is living in the spiritual world. That baby is growing up. It's getting big. It's dead. But you talk about the spiritual world. You talk the other day how your girl was fighting somebody in the spiritual world. So you know the spiritual world exists. You know it exists. And there are many girls who have abortion. I've talked to them. And they would tell me, say, Chesson, I'm haunted by that, man. I saw all the children that I aborted, they came to get me. Or they say, Mommy, I'm still here. They would talk to their mom, some of them. Those ones that feel guilty, the kids will come back to talk to them. Because you can't just keep aborting babies like that. Some people have 10 abortions. Liberian girls, 10, 12 abortions, 11, 9. So to them, having abortion is nothing. Go have sex. They don't even think of their own health. Is that healthy? How are you aborting those babies? Are they medically sound? Or some on the side doctor telling you, take this pill and take that thing and just stick the thing up your vagina and you bleed the baby out? Girls were sticking hangers, coat hangers up their vaginas to induce the abortion. How you do that, Sam?
Some do, or they glass bottle, they grind it, they dust the powder, they drink it, and oh man,
They kill the
how you kill
baby.
somebody? Yeah, kill a baby, get out of
They kill
glass.
yourself too. How you drink
Yeah.
that kind of thing? That thing going all through that glass. It can never come out of you. Yeah, it will kill the baby, but it will stick on your intestine. It ain't gonna come out. Then when you look, you're suffering from some kind of problem. You got cancer of this, cancer of that, some kind of bad disease. You can't sit down. Your stomach just bleeding.
Someone say, I wish.
Yeah, then they say
In
that
Africa,
wish.
they say
But
that wish.
you remember you sat down and drank a whole thing of glass. That glass, you drink it, all that coming together in your stomach. You know, and that's a bad way to kill a baby, man. Why you want to kill a baby like that? And how sure are you that baby will die? Or that placenta will not come out of you? Or that thing will not come out of you, somebody will stay in you. It's
A
not
lady was
healthy.
trying, a girl was trying to take a 7-month-old baby, 7-month-old pregnancy. The girl was not destroyed because army had just arrived. So the new open, when she was getting a new boyfriend, and she died with it. What I tried. She tried 7-month-old baby. That's a whole human being,
Yeah.
and she died. I saw
Yeah.
that in the
That's
casket.
why
I said, "What?"
in America, they got the law called Roe v. Wade. Roe, ROE versus Wade. Well, in America, we just say Roe v. Wade. But that road, the V is versus Road versus Wade. That's a case that went to the federal court for women abortion. And that was the leading case for to protect women and their rights to abortion was Roe v. Wade. Because under that abortion law, the court divided the woman pregnancy into what you call trimesters. They divided it into 3 trimesters. From the time you get pregnant, your inception of conception to the first 3 or 4 months. That means the baby may not be born. You can have abortion within that time. The fetus has not formed in the first trimester. So
It's
they
still fluid.
divided the kids, they divided the pregnancy into trimesters, where you have the first trimester where the fetus is not formed. Then you have the second trimester where the fetus is being formed into a human being. At what extent you can have abortion in the first trimester? At what extent or state in the second trimester you cannot have abortion? That baby becomes formed. It becomes it moves from just a mere fetus into being formed into a baby. So that was the law in America divided it into different parts. So you had trimesters. You can have abortion during the first trimester. The baby isn't formed. And they tried to ban abortion too. They were making abortion only legal for rape, for illnesses, for incest, and things like that. So those things, states were allowing people to have abortion for that. Because, especially incest, children living in the house, brother and sister banging each other. When you know somebody get pregnant. So they were permitting abortion because of that. And parents didn't know that kind of thing and didn't tolerate it. So, and illnesses too. And being raped. You don't want to born a baby for somebody who raped you and you don't know the person. So they were permitting abortion for all of those. But after a certain trimester, you can't kill the baby no more because the fetus has begun to form. The fetus is like a tadpole. The sperm is like a tadpole. When it comes out of you, and it swims up in the vagina, then it gets to the egg and fertilizes the egg. During that first period of fertilization, it's what we call the first trimester. You can have abortion. The fetus is not formed. It's still got their tail sticking out of the sperm. So it's still a sperm. But after the second trimester, when that tail has begun to be missing and transformed into a human being, at a certain level, you can't have abortion no more because that baby has been transformed into a human-like figure. So it's been given life. So that's how the Roe v. Wade law divided abortion. But now the Republicans finna do away with the whole thing. They say, nah, we don't want no abortion. Nobody gotta have abortion. So that was the Roe v. Wade law. Now, in Liberia, we never had that kind of law. We never had any law in Liberia really governing abortion. Our courts in Liberia, when we don't have any laws within our jurisdiction that cover certain crimes, that's when we turn to American jurisdiction and British jurisdiction to buttress our laws. See, the court can use American jurisprudence, to punish you. If we don't have any laws that back it, then we go into what we call common law. You know what common law is? Common law is judge-made law. That means in the olden days, there were no laws. When the king appointed a judge, the judge went out and he used his own judgment to judge cases. Like
Common
Solomon,
sense.
Moses, and all those people, they were judges. They were not they were not political leaders. They were judges, religious leaders. So in the Bible, we call all of them judges. They were not kings. That's why the Jews cried to God for a king. And he gave them Saul. Because they never had king. Elijah, Elisha, Moses, all of them were not political leaders. They were religious leaders who were judges because they judged the people based on what God inspired them to do. So when they got a king, then they had the opportunity to have a parliament to make laws. That's when we started making man-made laws. But then in the olden days, when you had the kings and all the people, when they appointed judges, there were no written laws. So when the judges went out, wherever law they made became the law of the land. So that's where common law came from. Because common law was common sense. There was no law in the books, it was just common sense. Like a common example of a common law was King Solomon. If you read about King Solomon, one of the
Who had many wives.
not because of his wives, we're talking about being wise now. We're not talking about women. We're talking about sex and women.
Yeah.
But King Solomon was the wisest man that ever lived. And
Why you think he was wise?
determining his, huh?
The Bible always talk about someone being wise with all the women and the concubines. Why you think he was wise?
But
Why people should think that he was
being
wise?
women, you see, you don't understand your own culture. Because you got all those women and things, don't mean that you're gonna sleep with all the women.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Liberian culture. Our culture in the olden days, you get all the women because you're a rich man and you got a big farm and you need people to tend to your farm. So instead of going out to hire people, you marry women and you have children. And those children are raised to do the farm. They go on the farm, they drive the birds when it's small. You don't use scarecrow and all of that. You send the children out there to drive the birds, to take care of the farm, they do the harvesting. That's why people have plenty of wives.
And all the women have some of them have friends that
Huh?
will come to help on the farm. Some of them have friends that will help on the farm.
Yeah, but
And
you gotta pay
even if
them.
they made baby, they baby for the
If you
husband,
got
for the
friends,
king.
you gotta pay them. But
I
if you
mean
have wives
boyfriends.
with plenty of children, just imagine if you're a young man of 20 and you start marrying from the time you were 18, you know in our culture, you ain't going to school, so now about 16-year-old, you start getting married. You marry your first wife at 16 and you start building your farm. By the time you reach to 25-year-old, you got plenty of land and money and things, you got about 10 wives. Or you got 4 wives because Muslim people, they say 4 is the official limit. Anything after 4, you can do it, but 4 is the regular limit.
Mm-hmm. If you
So
get a
if you got
capacity,
your
they can go
4
more.
wives and you start having children, why would you go and hire people? You got your children to do on the farm. They got no other work to do. In those days,
No,
there was no school.
what I was saying, most of these wives got their boyfriends, their love on the side,
Yeah, but
and they will go on and they
those
will
are
go on the
people who think
farm.
about sex.
Yeah, what I'm saying, these children that will come out, these
Yeah.
children belong to this king. So because he married a woman, so that would say married woman does not born bastard. So even if the woman bring the child home, it's for the king.
Yeah, but son,
So
you
this
thinking
guy will be on it.
Sam.
Yeah.
You thinking on sex. You thinking of
No,
the
I'm
white
not thinking
people.
on sex. I'm not thinking on
That's
sex.
stupidness.
I'm
People
talking about
don't
they support from outside for this woman. This guy will make it fine as though he's just an ordinary friend to this woman. And the king will know well that this
Sam,
guy, yeah,
Sam, stop talking
yeah.
foolishness. That shit don't happen to every woman. Every woman is not like that.
So I'm talking about people who marry 4, 5, 10, 15 women.
But some of those women are like that. You think every woman there wants sex? All women don't like sex. Sam, don't be misled.
You go off. I have the main machine again. Rod,
They try to interfere on my show. But
what
I said,
happened?
Sam, everybody not marrying because of sex.
No, I know. I'm not talking about sex
Okay,
per se.
our culture is not because of sex. African people don't marry 10 women because of sex. They marry it because of money, because of economy.
Yeah, but we're
One
saying the
man
same thing.
can marry.
You're not understanding. We're saying the same thing. They're not somebody. I'm not straight on sex. This guy
Yeah,
will
but
support
they
this
don't bring
woman.
that into the thing that women go and bring their boyfriend or no, but they got sex. Why you got to talk about boyfriend? It's not about boyfriend. Nobody talking about boyfriend here. People talking about our culture. Why people marry 4, 5 wives? They don't marry them. Yes, part of it is sex, but part of it is economics too. They want to make money. It better your children do it, your family do it, than to bring other people and pay other people to take their money out. When you got 4 wives, you got your compound with your wives in your compound, your children in your compound, all of them in your compound. They're your compound. They're not other people's compound. You ever see a rich man with all his compound? A rich man got a compound. He got all your women in a compound. He married 10 women, or whether they got boyfriend, they got boyfriend. They will not bring that boyfriend in the compound. That boyfriend will not enter that compound. You see, that's how rich men live. So anything the women want to do, they will go out and do it. They ain't gonna do it in the house. So that kind of issue you confront. So when you talk about African culture, don't be the white people. White people think about sex. No, that's not what our people marry 4, 5 women for. It's not about sex. As soon as you talk about 4, 5 women, all white people think about oh. No, our culture is not about that. Our culture, no man can have sex with 10 women. You will die. Even if you got 10 women, you can't have sex with them at the same time against the law. You can't even sleep with 2 women at the same time on our culture. It's not permitted. You sleep with 1 woman at a time. Every woman got her time with you. You can't bring 2, 3 of them in the room and start doing lesbian stuff with them. All of you are doing this freaky thing to do in America here. You can't do that. That's not part of our culture. Because they say you marry 10 women, you ain't gonna sleep with 10 women at the same time. Yeah, they got some crazy chiefs there who should try it. But that's not our culture. It's just that we're so Western about 4, 5 while like, all you think about, somebody be banging the other 3. Some women didn't even think about that, sir. So they got some promiscuous women. They got some women who play around. People the same way, everything. Just how they got some men that just how women are, sir. God did not cheat women or cheat men. God did not make some men smart and make some women dumb. Just as many men smart, that just as many women smart. Just as many men dumb, that just as many women dumb. Just as many men promiscuous, that just as many women promiscuous. So don't just pray that you find the right woman. It ain't about sex. It's about the right woman. Okay? You find the right woman, she will speak with you. She can look at other people black on. It can be big like a truck. She will not want it. It can be, they can promise her anything, she will not want it. She will your woman. Though when they say that my woman, nobody can take your woman from you. That's why you gotta pray for your woman. Because every woman not your woman. When you get your woman, you know that you're a woman. So we can't just generalize everything, Sam. Don't be like foolish people. When we talk about history, we deal with history, we deal with culture, we teach our people what culture is all about. Sex is part of life. It's not everything. It doesn't dominate our culture. Look at our women. From the time you were growing up, you saw women cover their titties in Liberia.
No.
You living in Bon County,
They were always exposed.
always exposed. Did your dick get hard? Were you walking
I
around
know.
all on the street with your dick hanging up because you are looking at
It was
women
just
titties?
it was just normal thing. That's why why
Okay.
would you that kind?
That's what differentiates us from Westerners. Those things don't move us, that culture. We grew up looking at women titties. So I ain't gonna get nuts and go crazy because a woman showed me her titties. I ain't gonna do that. But these white people will do it because of their culture to hide it. Oh, when you enter white woman room, she don't hide the placard there. She don't hide the titties. Oh, He came in my room. Then she leaving that down there. What I want up here for? Eh? Up here can't satisfy me. Down there can satisfy me, but you hiding up here. What you hiding up here for? Ah, yeah. Hide that one. Give me that one. You see, that's culture. When you go to the Liberian woman, the first thing you do, she will hold down here. Right?
Mm-hmm.
You see the cultural difference? That the mentality. When you enter a woman room in Liberia, the first thing you do is cover her vagina. In America, the first thing she does is cover her breasts. That's the difference. We don't care about breasts. We want a placard. My sister-in-law called it a V. So many chances. She's a nurse. You heard about her? She talked about it. She was calling it V when she was talking to the women. But that's the difference. That's a cultural difference. We used to seeing titties. We don't care about titties. The white people care about titties. They're not used to seeing titties. They cover their whole body just to spy. The titties will make them go nuts. A peaceful woman was telling me she was in Liberia and her father and mother came to visit her in Liberia. So she was in Bon County, the same country. She was in Bon County. So the woman and mom, after they came to visit her, she was a Peace School. She took them into Banga to visit her friends in Banga, right? So they get to the village there, in the Banga, in the town, in the village, all the women there, titties showing. The pa called nuts. The pa did not know what to do. The white man were totally confused, man. He saw all the women running around with their titties hanging up. The guy said, Rodney, my pa was totally confused. He said, I didn't know my pa was confused. Until we told him, we introduced him to the head woman, and the head woman titties just hanging out of there. And the papa, we say, Daddy, this is the mama of the village. This is the, I don't know what you said, but all the papa was saying, mama, papa, mama. She said, papa was just mesmerized here, mama. Hello, mama, and papa, you know what I'm saying? And he just was, mama. They look at her breast, mama. It was just, she told her father was going to fall in the woman's breast. The father said, mama, mama. She was telling me, she said, Rodney, I never see my pa so mesmerized. She said, my pa had never been around so many breasts in his life. He get on his breast or on him, he had fears, they hanging on him. He said, just to see women breasts in America is a war. And here he was in the village, all these breasts is walking around, not hitting, just bouncing off. She said, my dad was totally confused, man. She said, I didn't get my dad right there. She said, my mom was so mad at my dad. She was laughing. She said it was so at first she started to get mad. Then it got so hysterical because she could see this man was totally mesmerized. He had never seen so many breasts in his life. He was in a village of breasts. All the women coming to him, no breast here, nothing covering the breast. She said her power totally. She said you're going to take her part to the mental hospital or something. Laughing the hell. So that's the difference. That's the difference. What do you think? You bring the white children to Liberia, the white children will go crazy because from small they can't see breasts. They be yelling there, but never breasts. Do they high school children? You bring them Liberia, all of them will go crazy. They will be looking at breasts like they've never seen breasts in their lives. Yeah, so it's different. The culture differences. So dumb. When you're thinking about Liberian culture or African culture, be mindful. There are certain things we take differently from white people. You know, when they hear about polygamy and all of that, they say, "Oh yeah, we Christian, yes, you guys are Christian." You know, Jesus Christ didn't really forbid people having more than one wife. He didn't forbid it. He said, if you want peace, if you want stability in your life, then one man and one woman got to go together. Because he knows no matter what kind of system you got 4 or 5 wives, you in trouble picking. You get gray hair before your time. You get diabetes, high blood pressure, choke. You get all kinds of things before your time picking. You tell about it, right? And you know it. And you know you get more than one woman. So then you get one woman, say you can't survive without one woman.
That headache.
I said, man, so now you get one wife, you can't survive without one woman. You think they're full. Mama, you think that's sex? And you have peace? Why do you think Jesus told us to get one woman? Jesus didn't come to change the laws. He told us, he said, I'm not here to change the laws. You want 4 wives? You can handle it, go for it. You can still be Christian. I will still love you. But if you want peace in your life, if you want peace with a woman, get one woman and sit down with her. You have peace. But he told her he didn't come to change the laws. He came to give her a better way of life. And that's a better way. You still with one woman, you have peace. You not have all the sex you want. So that's a give and take situation, Sam. That's life. You know, if you want something, you got to give up something. Everything is a give and take. You know, you want one woman, you want her love you alone, then you can't want to run around. Then you got to stay with that one woman. You want 4 or 5 women, you know, the women want 4 or 5 men too. That's human nature. Yeah, well, society say one man, one woman, but when you banging the hair wife, and what will happen to the other women during the cold nights? They be sleeping with the children. You see why those Mandingo men that had children play there? As soon as they get married, they start banging other children. So when they're sleeping with wife number 1, wife number 4 can't get married because her time are 4 months down the road. She ain't seen him for 4 months. So why she got her children a big belly, she ain't worried about sex. You know, she there nursing her belly, maybe thinking about when the baby coming and all of that. Then by the time she had that baby, he finished with 1, 2, 3 days, now you're time to get pregnant again. Then by the time he leave your room, you're pregnant again. So every winter you get pregnant. Because he's not coming to you for 4 months. That's how it works, Sam. And during your pregnancy, you'll go cut the farm and everything like that. You're not worried about man because you're pregnant. You go cut the farm. He's sleeping with a head wife. Then he's sleeping with wife number 1. Then he got sleep with wife number 2. Then he will number 3 because he come to you wife number 4. By that time, you in your last trimester, you're ready to deliver. Then he come, you deliver. He stay with you small while you deliver. And he hold you, comfort you, everything. That's your 4th month. Then he going back to wife number 1. And so while he with you comfort you everything, then he make sure he make you pregnant again. Then he got wife number 1. You're not seeing him for 4 months again. Because wife number 1, that the head wife, she would determine how long she want to stay with him. So you know about head wife, right?
Oh yeah, and sometimes the head wife go look for the young girl for the man.
Yeah, that the head wife, she tell you who to marry because she want peace in the home. She want women she can agree with. She want a woman that will be fighting her for her husband. Oh, that my time. You been there too long. Why you can't give me my time now? 1 month not enough. I want 2 months. I want 3 months. Yeah, man, no, she don't want that. So the head wife go out and negotiate with other woman. I gave my husband, you're giving him back? Yeah. You just had him for 1 month? Yeah. You agree to all these terms? Yeah. Okay, you can marry him. Then she will come and tell you, I gotta find one wife for you. Does the wife she found for you be as fine as her? or fonder than her. And Sam?
But sometimes it happens.
Oh yeah, but then the woman loved the man, and they should go find a next
Yeah,
woman. Or the
yeah.
man, she's scared the hell of the man. She said, I better find you a good woman before you put me out of the house. You know, some men that put a woman out of the house, and you don't do what they say.
It's
And
true.
then like America, where you gonna go sue them in court? You will coming back in the house. So you want to live in the house, you will go find your husband, and that's the young thing, fine, and the young thing, and bring
Yeah.
then you have peace in the house. So is that a good life for you to go find a wife for your husband? Yeah.
That's the culture. Yeah, some society.
You know, but sometimes our culture is one-sided too, you know, especially with the FGM and all of that. And those are things we'll discuss some other time. Ours, Sam.
Yeah.
Maybe the closing statement that's carrying you.
We got the death yesterday of the three guys and the death of Nathan. People are warning CDC again. Never again a parade with casket. So what they are saying is maybe because of the casket, that's why these people are dying.
Oh, come on,
And
man.
I can't write back to CDC. Yeah, that's
But
that's
what
the
about the
problem
way
now.
Ellen Johnson said even older people die in the car? Because I know some of my friends died campaigning for Ellen. The car attendant and all of them died in the car. So what? What was that
But
about?
they accusing we are of being of a ritual or cultist. So maybe that's why they sacrifice the girl. All the kind of
And that didn't been going
rumors
on in
they
Liberia
say.
forever, Sam.
Mm,
Ritualistic killings, evil,
yeah,
evil, evil. You don't
evil.
say
Yes,
evil. You gotta give it that real evil.
to look so
Evil.
ugly.
Been
Huh?
going on Liberia for long. What have we
Yeah.
done about that? Well, can it be evil for long, man? Liberia not just being evil today. We've been evil for long. The evilness be existing among us. Evil! Evil! That's evil. Don't say evil. It's evil. Evil. Oh, I
Okay,
was just
Rod.
looking at, you know, that professor who comes out and talk all the time. He's like Patrick Lumumba there from Kenya, one of those guys.
Yeah, yeah.
I think I saw him on the stage talking to the Kenyan parliament with that white shit on his
On
head.
his very head.
That rug. Why don't people,
Yeah.
those African men ain't got no damn shame?
Then he
These damn
preaching pan
useless
Africanism.
colonial bitches ain't got no shame. They be standing there talking, oh, we are educated. Then they got that piece of rock on their head, that white rock, to show that the white men. And then you want to be African with me? You want the big African unity with me with a damn white rock on your head? I see this man. He comes and talk all this educated bullshit. Then he's standing there with a fucking white rock on his head, talking to the
I don't.
Kenyan slaves. All the damn colonial slaves sitting down there,
That's all.
looking at each other with white rocks on their head. That the people I'm gonna be with? That no damn useless African I'm gonna be with? Africans still wearing white rocks on their head. That those bitches I'm gonna be with, those Ghanaians, those British slaves I'm gonna be with. Give me a damn break, Slam. I'll see you tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Go to sleep.
Good
Take care
day.
of yourself. I piss
Yeah.
off. Every time I see those
I beg you.
bitches talking in their notebook with that damn useless wig on their head. Who are those damn Ghanaians and Nigerians and Kenyan bitches still wearing that damn wig on their head? Then they acting like they're educated. Dumb, stupid fools. Don't talk to me about African unity. Don't talk to me about African direction and anything without white shit on your head. Go and look in the mirror, you damn Africans, and take that shit off your head. It's a disgrace to Africa to see big, rusty African men standing up talking like they're educated with that piece of little white rock on their head. Shame on you. Shame on you, you damn colonial slaves. Aluta. Continue. Rise up, my people, against these damn colonial slaves. They're keeping us down. These useless bitches. Then they want to talk about African unity. You think I'm a fool? You think I would talk to these Ghanaians and Nigerians with that piece of shit on their head, talking about the barrister? I would want to talk to you dumb asses? I ain't going to talk to you. Shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on you. You know, damn African unity. To hell with African unity. Y'all take that shit off of your damn head. You damn colonial bitches.